Hi there, Ron here of Variable Play, and welcome to another Open Game Night. I am alone though. Good evening, everyone. This is Ron. Uh, December is really normally quite busy, and because of that, I'm going back to how this all started. I remember doing something similar to this. Uh, 2014. I think we were about to do. Um, oh, hold on. I am using a really bad internet connection, so I'm gonna disappear for a bit. Hold on. All right, there you go. I'm back, and I have two copies of myself in my own channel. Three. Yes. Good evening. Hi, Mark. Hi, Morgan. Solo mode. That's not a bad idea. Maybe we should play something solo. Although that is a really good idea, and I'm gonna be playing a solo game that I can't reveal it to you guys. So I don't know how we're gonna play it without me spoiling it. So you're gonna see me fiddle around with it, but I can't show you what's going on with the game. So the game's called Maze Cape, and it's we'll be playing this later for the ones who are okay to be a little bit spoiled. In the meantime, uh, yes, everybody's a little bit busy, so I'm just gonna be online quite quick, and uh, I just want to invite you guys again to Variable Plays VP Live 2021. This is gonna be at Eton West End Square. This is in Makati, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. There are two floors in there, and we will be situated differently on day one and a little bit different also on day two. But basically, it's going to be the first and second floor, the ground floor, the second floor. The parking is up front. There's no charge for this, but you need to be vaccinated. You need to bring your vaccination card and wear your mask at all times. Be safe. If you think that it's not safe for you, or you're a little bit sick, or you're not feeling well, or it might be challenging for you because of family reasons, whatnot, then do not be obliged to go. We also don't recommend it. It's only if you feel safe. It's only if you feel that it's a good time for you to go. Then please do join us. We will also try to be as distant to each other as we could. Although there is a toy convention running also on Sunday, starting Sunday and then Monday. I'm not entirely sure the crowd that will go there, but I'm also interested in seeing the games that they will be bringing. So I'm gonna go a little bit to the old way I used to run this when I started this, and I'm gonna be talking about the games I'm looking forward to play, uh, and that's gonna be so. When I started Open Game Night, that's what I normally would start the episode with, and so now I'm gonna do that. Let me get the game that I am interested in playing. Okay, it's a little bit too big. There you go. So this coming weekend, we have some questions Question number one: will there be Bacon next year? The actual Bacon. For the ones who are not familiar yet, Bacon is Board Gaming Advocates and Enthusiasts Convention. To be honest, we hope. We are hoping that things will be a little bit more normal. However, we do know that safety is still the priority. So until the time that it's really, really safe, we won't be running such a sort of big get together, um, as big as Bacon, and which normally with Bacon we have a big roundup. We it's normally like 3 months to 4 months of us uh, gathering people and asking for volunteers and planning and so forth. There's a lot of things to do for Bacon. This VP Live was just an opportunity for us to maybe get to see each other. So I am hoping to play Path of Light and Shadow. So Path of Light and Shadow is a deck building game that is also an area control game. So it's kind of like I know today, was it today that um, Jake released the number nine entry for the top 100 games, the Philippines top 100 games. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it is Dune Imperium. But as much as I love Dune Imperium, there is for a this is not as pure as a deck building because there is an area control aspect, but the deck building part is definitely more rewarding here than it is in Dune Imperium, in my opinion. In Dune Imperium, it's really that you have that situation of, okay, can I deal with the cards that I have? If not, can I maximize it with going to the different areas? If not, what am I going to be buying? You have this flow chart. With Path of Light and Shadow, you have this area control aspect where you're trying to sort of conquer, go around this world and uh, try to gain back the ruins that was left behind. And unlike most deck building games where whenever you need to get new cards, you buy them from a market, in Path, Flight, and Shadow, they just pop up whenever you go from one area to another, depending on what the terrain is, the land that you're in, if it's in the forest, if it's in the mountains, and so forth, you draw from that deck. And those are citizens that joined your party, whether you like it or not. That is what's really nice. What was that event in Soler? That's the only time I played that. That was PopCon, Manila Pop Convention. Um, yes. And so, Path of Light and Shadow, you don't have a good control of what goes to your deck. And you now decide what type of leader are you? Are you that leader where you're going to these new people that have joined you, you will nurture them and train them and bring them towards their best potential, which is what's also unique about the game. You can upgrade cards, and oops, sorry about that. And the other one is, so that's the merciful way of doing things. The shadow or the cruel way of doing things is, if you don't like the people that have joined you, you can just call them, and and they will be removed from your deck. So, I just want to show you, if I'm not mistaken, I have painted this copy of mine. So, not only do you have that aspect where you don't have that fixed market, they kind of just jump along your they bandwagon you. You have these boards that are tech trees, that modify how your uh, turns go. You have the nice big map. So many of these sort of Lego-like buildings, and these represent the the strength of the ruins that you're gonna be encountering. And then, yes, so my copy, it is not focusing because it's only focusing on me. My copy, I've already painted the minis. Uh, Not that great, but it does the job. So I believe my wife painted the red warrior. I think I did the blue one. So there, my favorite piece there is this. So I was able to kind of make it like a mossy looking rock. This is the first player marker. So pretty awesome. And then the art, really fantastic. I am also super excited about the expansion of this, which I kickstarted because it is one of my favorite games. Secret, actually, it's my number one for 2020 because it for me it's the main game that I actually don't get to play as often, but I'm so looking forward to playing that. So they're talking. Morgan is asking, Fred, punta ka Saturday? Di pa sure. Okay. Alrighty. So let me open up. So that's one of the games that I am super excited in playing. Then there's quite a few others that I'm most excited, but this one is one I wanted to talk to you guys and also to remind myself to put it in the car, even if I have quite a few containers already. Speaking of containers, I want to remind you guys if you guys want to join our sort of gathering exchange gift. Uh, Sir Freddy already sent his seed gifts. So he provided gifts for that raffle. The way it works is uh, we will, if you want to enter, just bring a gift, put it at the table. We'll take your name and we'll put it in a container. And throughout the day, as we collect these gifts, we will draw a random name, and you get to pick one any of the gifts, any of the games that are in that gift pool, and that's it. And the thing is, we are already putting in more games from ours, so we're not bringing in just one. From me and Sir Freddy, we're putting already a few games in. So I think there's a good chance at least you're gonna get one, maybe even more. So just to give you a recap of what we have already so far, we have the super cool, although it's already a finite CCG, so it's a CCG, but it's no longer in production. But this is a starter set, so which is why it's great because you don't have to worry about modifying it. So this is the Transformers trading card game, and this is the two-player starter set, which is already fantastic on its own. And you have these big Autobots that you can flip to transform. So that's there. Then oops, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me do that again. So we got the Transformers, and so you have the flip mode. So these they flip to the car mode or the Autobot mode. Super cool art. Then there's also a starter set for D&D. I kind of want this one, but there's one more that I want. So, and uh, Sir Freddy didn't just give one copy. So he gave actually a few copies. So that means that there's more chances of you finding opponents for Transformers. Then he added some party games. So there is Team Play from WizKids, Dice Stars, which is a roll and write, and blank white dice, where it's you are writing on to customize. It's like dice building, but you're really writing the face on the die, and depending on the face, that is the actions that you're able to do. All right, and this one I am super interested in. It's the sort of Lords of Waterdeep attempt of Magic of Wizards of the Coast. It's called Gathering Heroes of Dominaria. So cool art. The components are a little bit muted, but in terms of the gameplay, it's pretty good. And also some magic cards in there, or at least magic lore esque type cards. All right. So those are Sir Freddy's. Now let's look at what I'm bringing in. So we're gonna shuffle these and split it is to day one and day two. So we'll have Arcane Academy, really really good game. Uh, you are creating this combo chain of uh, crystals and these crystal conduits that you can use to generate uh, different colored crystals to power up spells, power up actions, and so forth. And depending on how you are triggering them, it also chains. So that is Arcane Academy, and if I'm not mistaken, it's based on a book or comic, one of those. Then there are some small boxes there. The one hiding, the one hiding there is actually Brew Crafters. That's one of my favorite card games. It's Brew Crafters, the card game. I am giving this a gift because I already have another um, updated edition of it. This is the original one. This is so OG that even the tokens inside, which are, it's not the same as the one that they produce in the mass market version of it. Then I have the Pixel Tactics. This is Mega Man Tactics. And if I'm not mistaken, I've customized this to have a lot of dice so that's easier for you to mark things. So I know the box has dice inside just to make it more convenient. Twilight Squabble is a cheeky interpretation of Twilight Struggle. It's to allude to that, but it's a very simple game where you are sort of running a war where you're checking which one of you is playing the higher card to gain control over a certain area of the battle. In opposite direction of that is 13 minutes the card game. This one is very much a condensed version of 13 days. This is a little bit serious. It's actually a really good tug of war style where you are trying to uh, very interestingly using a very love letter like mechanic where you draw a card, play a card, and you are deciding how you are playing them and deciding whether you're using the action points or playing for the ability, and you're moving your uh, units or your cubes, your control markers across the map. It's not a map, but it's basically your cards to put things to your favor to be in your control, and then you're counting up points. But you're balancing this just like in Twilight Struggle and in 13 Days. You're trying not to push and be too aggressive, otherwise you trigger nuclear war and you lose. So that is 13 minutes. Then Lemonade Stand is actually a stock market game implemented using cards. And then Dead Man's Draw is an OG uh, pusher luck, really cool art, and where you have different cards that will trigger different things, but you don't want too many of the Cthulhu enemies popping up. Uh, the white one in inside, you don't see anything, right? But there's a white box in the middle. That's Time Stories. So it's the original Time Stories. I am not sure. I don't think I have. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. It may have the Marcy case inside the box as well. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. But it is the base set of Time Stories. So definitely a massive, great gift already just by showing up and bringing a small game. You might even get big bucks. Or if you're generous and you have this really nice game but you want somebody else to enjoy it, then you are more than welcome. And I'm sure somebody else will also be enjoying that game of yours. There's also Burano and tournament at. So Burano is this Euro. It's a Euro game where you're building up the Burano city, and you are stacking. You have this pyramid which kind of decides how you will be playing the rest of the game, and you are building up the city, putting up roof tiles, and then on the roof you will be playing these cubes. Depending on the cube that you take, you do a certain action, and you are doing some area control and triggering different. It's a mid-weight Euro, but the cubes are really pretty, pretty colorful, even for a Euro game. Tournament at Camelot is a trick taking game that is quite fun and aggressive. It's very whimsical and really fast to play too. So uh, one of my, I think this is uh, Sam Healy's favorite trick taking game. Then I have here Uchronia. Uchronia is like the micro, not the really that micro. It's in the reminiscence of Glory to Rome. It's from the same designer, uh, Carl Chudik, and yes, there are so many components inside the Burano box. Wag mong kahuyin, Fred. So Uchronia, uh, card game with buildings, and you are trying to build up this sort of like Dino Riders type world. So that's what's very interesting with it. It's basically imagine a world where the dinosaurs didn't die, and then put the Carl Chudik multi-use cards and build up society and civilizations just using cards. That's Uchronia. That's box one. But I'm gonna be shuffling these around so that there's also good sets for day two. Otherwise, well, one must say day two. So I'm gonna be balancing those boxes out. Another box. We have Civilization. Civilization. It's a really fun action selection. So you choose one of your cards, and you all have the same set of cards. But if you are the only one that played a certain card, you will get more benefits with it. If somebody played it with you, the benefit gets lower. And to an extent, if there are too many cards, too many of the same card, then nobody gets a benefit. So that is Civilization, really cute from the CV world. Uh, Very British art, humor style, and also very thematic in terms of like how the world, your civilization is progressing. Then peaking underneath is peak oil. So peak oil is a worker placement game, um, but you are doing some sort of area control of who gets to trigger that area. And then it's a continuous um, cycle, because the way it works is that you get bumped off, then you're bumped off, then you place to a different location, and until you get to resolve. And when you resolve, you go back, and which frees up that space. Now people can go there, and you now sort of take another turn to eventually go back to that space. So very interesting, lovely art. Actually, Peak Oil has really fantastic art and cool, cool concept. And then underneath is Mule. I don't know. I don't remember what Mule means. If I'm not okay, no, actually, I remember now. It's multi-use. I forgot the L, equipment. I forgot what L means, but it's multi-use something equipment or something like that. And the idea is, so there's some history with this game. Mule is a game that was designed in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, or yes, I think it's the 80s. And the designers of Mule really wanted to do a board game in the 80s, but they don't have access, they don't have funding, and they didn't have means to do it. So they built a video game, which was one of the sort of pioneers of how to implement video games. And mind you, the video game that they created, it was in oh, thank you. It is labor, multi-use labor equipment, element. Oh, element. Multiple use labor element. Yeah, there you go. Um, so they created this Euro game where I remember actually playing the video game, and it would start out where you need to bid for land for location. So since the it was in the Atari system, so there's no keyboard. You're just using the joystick. So all of the interface for this game in the video game form was done through joystick. So it would uh, flicker around the different areas, and then you sort of try to hopefully snag the nice areas where you get more resources, and that's sort of the random draw from the game, and then you plop it on which part of the map that you can get it. And then there's the bidding. The bidding in the video game is fantastic because the idea is you have your characters, and your offer, the way you offer is you move forward. That means you're decreasing your offer. The person who's buying will step up and sort of raise the price, and until you meet together, then that's the price that you guys have decided to match on. And it is a closed market game. So that means that all the money in the game that you will be playing is decided by you guys. What's also interesting with Mule, it has the original rule set inside the game and an updated version also inside the game. And there's, I think, some downloadable rule sets to make the game feel more modern. Because if it's you're following the 1980s style, there's a lot of randomness if you're following the original 1980s. And then a really nice game. This is the original Dice Town uh, by Bruno Cathala. I'm not sure if Bruno Faduti is also the part of the design, but it's basically poker using dice, and you're trying to bid on what locations you want to trigger, and from those you would be able to get resources. So that's just from us. Imagine everybody else that will be bringing their game that they want to share, and just the amount of things that we could try out, new things. So it's kind of like an exchange gift, but we're just gamifying it a little bit. All right. So I hope to see you guys this weekend. I will be playing now this Mazescape. I gave a preview about how this plays last time. And the thing is, I can't really show it to you guys because it will spoil it. It's a puzzle game, and if I play the puzzle game, it has to. I you would know how to play it. But the general feel for the ones who weren't able to watch my episode last Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, is that you have. Let me just turn off the. Hold on, the virtual background. Okay, there you go. So you have you start here, and you want to end up there. Okay. So the thing is, there's no direct path, right? So from here, if we go this way, there's no path that takes us there. So, but if we are here at the moment, so let me hold that. So we're here, okay? We're here. I can open up this flap and move myself back to the other side, and maybe even cross all the way down, go up, and now I'm somewhere here, right? Oops, sorry. Okay. So I can flip that back again and scoot over here. Let's open this guy up again, and now we have this axis upwards. And you kind of keep doing that. There are other. It opens up in many ways, and you also have to think and open up your mind how you're gonna be opening the the sheet around. So this is Mayscape, just 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 a single map. There's actually 7 maps in the game, and quite fun. And you have to think out of the box, and that's what I'm going to be playing right after this show. Thank you everyone for joining me. This has been fun. Thank you for the people that has dropped by. We hope to see you this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Please bring your vaccination cards. Stay safe, everyone. And until next time, this is Ron Villaver. Thank you for watching. Bye.